Hello guys. I was starting to have second thought myself, but it was too late after read operator strapped me in. He looked at the gauge and I knew there was no throwing back. Well, I wish I had spent more time watching what the surname shaker actually did to the person because I never would have got on if I had. It flips you upside down about a million times and then throws you toward the ground so your face is but 6 inches from the pavement. Then it sends you spinning backward up the sky again. And the whole time the gauge you are in a crane and all the balls look like trying about to come loose. I tried to get someone to spin the reed, but nobody could hear me over the pounding heavy metal music. It was the most nauseous I've ever felt in my life, and when I say that I mean even more than after I had to get money out of the shower area at the temple. If this is what it takes to be a man, I am definitely not ready yet. When the read finally ended, I could barely walk, so I sat down on the bench and waited for the broad wall to stop spinning. I stayed there a long time and focused on trying not to throw up. We really wrote some read that were more his speed. After all he was done with the kiddie ride, his dad brought him a happy balloon and a shirt from the souvenir shop. A half hour later, I was finally ready to try standing up and walking around again. But when I got on my feet, Mr. Jefferson said it was time to go. I asked him if we could just play a few games in the arcade, and he said okay, even so he didn't seem happy about it. I had spent all the money mom gave me, so I told Mr. Jefferson $20 would probably do it, but all he was willing to offer me was $1. I think his arcade was too loud for Mr. and Mrs. Jefferson, so they didn't want to go inside. They told us to go in by ourselves and meet them outside in 10 minutes. I went to back of the arcade where they have this game called Thunderworld. I spent about $50 on that game last year and I got the high score. I want really to see my name at the top of the list because I want to show him what it was like to win something without a big hand handed to you. Well, my name was still at the top of the list, but the person who got the next highest score must have Julius they couldn't beat me. I unplugged the machine to try and wipe out the high score, but they were brown into the screen permanently. I was gonna just spend our money on some other game, but then I remember a trick Roderick told me about, and I realized that we could make $1 last a lot longer. Me and Rolly walked outside and went underneath the boardwalk. Then I slipped the dollar bill up between the plank of wood and waited for our first victim. Eventually, Tangier spotted the dollar sticking out of the boardwalk. When he wanted to grab it, I pulled the dollar bill through his cell at the last second. I have handed it to Roderick because it was actually a lot of fun. The tangerines the blanket weren't too happy though and welcome after us. Me and Rolly ran as we could, and we didn't stop until we were pretty sure we shocked those guys. But I still didn't feel safe. I asked Rolly to show me some of the movies he learned in Catherine so we could handle those guys if I found us. But Rolly said his glad plan in crate and wasn't going to teach his moves to the noble. We'd hid there a while more. Well, the dangerous never show up, and eventually we decided the cast was killer. That's when we realized we were underneath Kiddie Land. So there was a whole new batch of victims for our dollar bill tracked right over our head, and we got a much better reaction out of those kids than we did from a dangerous. But one of these guys was really fast and he grabbed the dollar before I could pull it down. So me and Rolly had to go up on the broad walk to get it back. This kid wasn't budget, so I tried to explain the concept of personal property to him, but of still won't give us our money.